In the hush of morning light, find a place where shadows hide. Whisper truths in silent night. Soul serenity inside. And the world feels loud and wild. Seek the gentle breath of grace in the eyes of every child. See divinity's embrace. Quiet stillness holds the key to a mind that's truly free. In the tranquil we confide, finding God, a peace inside. Mountain tops and waters deep echo with a sacred hymn. In His care, our spirits sleep, cleared from every worldly spring. As the stars paint dusky skies, see His love in every beam. In the night where calmness lies, dreams of heaven softly gleam. Moments pause and hearts align, feel the warmth of His design. In the stillness we shall find, God imparts a peace of mind. Finding God, a peace inside.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back! I am the dust at the feet of God's servants, only God is special. Welcome back, I hope you guys are doing well. It's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Back from Speaker's Corner. It was it was a trip. It was I'm not gonna lie, I had so much fun. I don't know if you guys caught the live streams. I did a couple of live streams where I was talking to a Muslim and then I was talking to a Christian. And I had my little devil mask on, dusted it off, pulled it out for today's little trip. But yeah, I had so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversations. Even though the conversations were quite circular. In regards to the Muslim conversation, the guy didn't understand what he was saying. He was just on script mode. He was just like Dawa script. He's like, oh no, look, when I talk to Christians and I convince them, and I'm like, bro, you convince them. How do you convince them? You have to destroy their belief, and then you have to implant your own belief, and then they go, oh, okay, I'll take your belief because it sounds more reasonable. And then he said that whatever's in their heart has got nothing to do with him. He's just there to pass the message, like, verbally. He's just there to intellectually fuck their heads so that they end up converting to Islam. Whether their heart's in it or not his problem. And when I questioned him, he was like, what? So I found that hilarious because today I was not giving them the leeway to run with the bullshit. Today was it was a day of reckoning, as it were. uh, like I said, I was just going there for a bit of fun. I was hoping that they'd have a light-hearted conversation at the beginning because of the whole mosque and me asking to do the shahada. I thought it would be a little bit of fun, jest. They'll laugh at it, and we could walk away just chilled but happy and funny. But he was like, no, it has to come from the heart, and I was like, no. According to one of the Muslim guys that I've spoken to before on stream, not on stream, but I've recorded at Speaker's Corner. I've got it on my video list somewhere. It was one of these famous Muslims that go on all these Muslim Dawah channels. What's his name? Yemeni. So Yemeni, I'm talking to Yemeni, and I'm like, so what you're saying is that all I have to do is say the shahada. I don't have to be a good person. I don't have to do anything. My heart doesn't have to be there. It's just I have to say the magic words. And as soon as I say these magic words, that's it. I'm a Muslim. And he's like, yes, that's exactly right. I was like, what? Wait, really? And I had to question him. I was like last time I spoke to this Yemeni guy at Speaker's Corner. So when I spoke to Yemeni, would have been around last 2023 end of December or coming January, 2024 January. So I spoke to him a long time ago. So I was hoping that Muslims may have picked up on this video. Sorry, the camera keeps on getting out of focus. I don't know. Well, I think I know why. It's because of the mic. It picks up the mic and then it picks up my face. I hope that's better. And I hope you guys can still hear me. Okay, sweet. Yeah, so when I spoke to this Yemeni guy a year ago, he was like, yeah, no, it's just magic words. And I was like, no. And he's like, no, once you say the magic words, then by the will of Allah and the grace of Allah, the blessings just rain down because you said these magic words. So yeah, I hope they picked up on this, and I was hoping that they realized it wasn't just magic words. So when I went down to Speaker's Corner today to have a chat with them, once again, like I said, it was just meant to be a quick joke. I was actually thinking of just making a little short. I didn't think it'd turn into a full-blown conversation. He starts defending it, saying, no, Muslims don't do that. Oh, no. And I'm like, bro, we could go through the catalogue of thousands of videos that you Muslims have put up where you're like, oh, Muslim destroys Sikh, Muslim destroys Hindu, Muslim destroys Christian, Muslim destroys atheist. None of those are about connecting with the person's heart to see whether they can connect with God through the heart. It's always just about destroying what they believe so that they can install their new programming, which is Islam. So that was hilarious. I actually really enjoyed that conversation just because he kept trapping himself. At one point, he was like, oh, yeah, the Christians, they say 3, but 1. How is that possible? And I'm like, bro, you've got 99. Then you say that 99 is 1. You've got the same thing. You can't say. And he's like, no. Those are just attributes and no, they are names and attributes of Allah. And I said, yeah, there you go, attributes. So you got all these different attributes that you're then combining into the one called Allah. The same thing as Christians. Instead of 99, they've got 3. They say the Father attribute, the Holy Spirit attribute, and the Son attribute. Those 3 consist of the one. Why are you in a big huff and a puff? And he's like, no, when did I say it's an attribute? And I was like, bro, you just said it. And he goes, no, I didn't say that. I said names and attributes. I was like, this is the problem with them. When they are doing their Dawah script, they aren't ready for any curveballs. They're not ready for anyone to actually analyze what they're saying and listen to what they're saying and then try and apply that logic. Oh, there we go. Apply that logic broadly. And they end up getting stuck in their own fallacies. So yeah, that was a hilarious conversation. It was really, really funny. And he got in a bit of a huff. He didn't even want to shake my hand at the end. It's up to him. Like, it's a conversation. We're still human beings. Like, yeah, we got our differences. Yeah, we don't agree on everything, but the last time I spoke to you, I didn't agree with everything you said, but I still shook your hand at the end of it. You know, it was like just the respect of another human being. It's like, yeah, we don't have to agree, but we respect each other to a certain degree. But he refused to shake my hand. And then the blind guy turned up, and the blind guy wanted to argue with me. I was like, okay, fine. And then I shouldn't be laughing at this. The blind guy got so upset he started walking off, and I was like, yo, be careful, because he was walking directly into a camera. Yeah, but I had a fun day. I had a fun day. So I hope you guys enjoyed those streams if you did watch them. And then there was a second conversation with the Christian. Wait, let me just lower the camera a bit so I don't have to sit up. The second conversation was with the Christian. That was an interesting conversation because I couldn't find any Bible bashing Christians. Like this guy I spoke to, he seemed like a bit of a new age Christian. He was like, no, not church, like spirit and working and doing stuff and trying to get the soul and the spirit to make the changes in the body. And I was like, okay, cool, I could get behind this. I can understand what you're saying. But where me and him had a problem was that he would disagree with me and then say something that pretty much agreed with what I said. So one of the things I said was something about how the devil's just doing his job. Like, you know, God is here and then the devil's down here and the devil's just doing his job. He's the adversary. He's the bad guy. He's the one that makes everyone do all the evil stuff. You know, people don't do evil stuff. It's that boogeyman over there. So I was like, look, he's just doing his job. He's taking the brunt. He's taking the hit as the boogeyman. He's not a bad guy because sin comes from within. It's your evil inclination. It's your desires that make you sin. So I was trying to get him to understand this, that listen, stop with the boogeyman thing. Realize that there's two parts to you. There's the light side and the something dark side. So I was like, yeah, it's about getting the light to keep the darkness in control. Otherwise, if the darkness overcomes the light, then you're kind of like trapped. You're not trapped completely. There is always still hope, but there is a harder battle to face when the darkness completely overrides the light. And like I've said on this channel previously, it's about like the yin and yang. It's about the balance, the harmony between the light and the dark. It's understanding your dark side, but choosing to use your light side. And you bring out the dark, the anger, the frustration, the desires, in controlled bursts. So it's a controlled desire. So the desire isn't overruling anything else in your brain or your heart that says that I shouldn't do this. You are going with, no, I have this desire, but this thing in my good side says that I shouldn't do it this bad. For example, somebody wants a car. The dark side could go, yeah, steal it. Doesn't matter. Or rob a house, make some money, get the car. Go, car, desire. Or you could go, okay, I have a desire to buy a car, but I'm going to use my light side to achieve that goal. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make sure I earn it. And even then, the thing is, it's even more sweeter because when you then get that car, you don't just look at that car as, oh, cool, I got a car. It's like, no, I worked really damn hard. It took me 6 months of saving. I was eating takeout, like pot noodles for like 6 months. I reduced all my spending. I did all this, I did that, and you got a cool story out of it. You've got a story of perseverance. You learn lessons along the way, and then you get the thing that you wanted, the car. So it's like, yes, you can have desires, but it's whether those desires control you or not. So this is what I was trying to explain to the guy, is like, you're not trying to completely rid yourself of the dark side, because it's impossible. It's part of you. But you don't want to go too far where you're just like completely dark, and you don't want to go completely light. Because if you go completely light, you turn into a monk and you go into the mountains and you become a recluse, and you are given this opportunity of life, but you're not living life. So that's the bad side of going down the light side. in my opinion. Obviously, if anyone's got a different perspective, you're more than welcome to share. I will be happy to hear it. Won't agree, more than likely won't agree, unless it's a really good argument. But yeah, you're more than welcome to share. So the light and the dark have to be at balance. It has to be at balance. And the darkness should never be overriding any kind of decisions. The darkness should be filtered through the light and then through the brain. And then the discernment is then how you would make those decisions to move forward. But yeah, that was the conversation with the Christian. So I actually thought that was actually a really good conversation with the Christian, even though we didn't agree on a lot. Like, it seemed like we were discussing for a while. But I think we kind of were along the same lines, but it was just the wording used and the idea, like I said, of me saying that the devil's not a bad guy, me, the devil, isn't trying to mess anyone up. He just wants you to be the best version of yourself so you could enjoy life a little bit the way God intended, I don't think God intended us to come down to earth, have nothing but like monasteries in mountains, and that's where we all need to go and just stay in the monasteries. We don't experience life, we don't learn anything. We probably learn something in the monasteries, but you know what I mean, like through actual life experience. And we just sit in the monasteries and we just sit there and chant Om for the next 30 years. I don't think that, until we die. I don't think that's what God planned. And I don't think he planned us to go the other way of just completely being self-deluded in our own obsessions and desires and destroying ourselves over these desires and obsessions. So both of those are a negative spiral down. Even though the light one, going into the monastery and meditating sounds good, it's essentially a spiral downwards because you're not growing the way you should be. Maybe there's some people that do, maybe, but I don't think that's for everyone. I think that certain people maybe learn that way, where they need to kind of like distance themselves from the distractions just for a while, just so they could recenter themselves, find who they really are, and then they need to come back into life. I think Jesus said it. I think he says, you are of the world, but not of it. So something along those lines, meaning that basically you have to be in the world. You have to be in the world, but you don't allow it to take over you, i.e. don't let your desires take over you. That's the way I read it. Not that I've read it, but that's where when I've heard that, that's the interpretation I get, is that you need that balance in life. Life is all about the balance. As the great Thanos once said, perfectly balanced, as all things should be. But yeah, it was a really good day. I really had a good time. I actually surprised how much I enjoyed Speaker's Corner today. Because I did say I wasn't going to go back, but I did. And I'm glad I did. Just for today, though. I don't know if I'll go again in the future, but for now, I am happy that I did what I needed to do. Although there are a bunch more questions I have for the Muslims. I brought one of them up for the guys, for the Sheikh. I asked the Sheikh about co-creating. I was like, well, you co-create when you and the missus are trying to have a kid. Because if you think that only God creates and you have no role to play in part of that creation, then you could just sit there and go, hey, if God wants me to have a kid, it'll happen by itself. You know what I mean? Because according to them, it can happen by itself. They believe in the Immaculate Conception of Jesus Christ. So they believe that, hey, a woman could get pregnant without any other interference. So just through God's will, that can happen. So if you truly believe that you're not a co-creator and that you are not playing any part and God is playing all the parts, if you're not playing any part, if you've got no say in what's happening, then yeah, don't try and have kids. Just let them happen by themselves, but I don't think he quite understood that, or if he did, he tried to change the subject. We got ex-Muslim debates India versus Pakistan in the chat. He says, Abud Darda reported God's messenger saying, God has preordained 5 things for every man he has created. his period of life, his actions, his lying down, his moving about, and his provision. That means you have no say in anything. That means you've got no free will. If you're just saying that he's just preordained everything, then you've got no free will. No free will on your thoughts, your actions, on your life. You're lying down, you're moving about, anything. I think that God has given us free will. So I definitely disagree with you, buddy. I appreciate you dropping the comment, but I do not agree. Which is funny because you put that comment in as an ex-Muslim. Not much of an ex-Muslim if you're pushing the Quran quotes. Oh, I don't even think it's a Quran quote. It's Adub Darda. Abud Darda. So it's a hadith. Reported God's messenger. Yeah, that's a hadith as well. So, yeah. As an ex-Muslim, I'd understand going and maybe quoting something from the Quran, but the hadith, the witness statements, where there was thousands destroyed, but they kept the ones that sounded good to them. I don't know. You're more than welcome to come up, ex-Muslim, and have a little chat. I've got a few more questions about Islam if you really, really, really want to get into it. But this wasn't really going to be a conversation about Islam or Christianity. This is just about angels and devils. But we could talk about whatever. I'll keep it quite chill. Once again, unfortunately, I am not going to do a super long stream. I've had a long day. I've literally just got back a little while ago, and I've got a few things to do around the house, so I need to cut out early today. And he's dropped some more Miska al-Misab. I'm guessing that's the hadith he's talking about. That's cool, buddy, but it's a hadith. The other... I just remembered one of the funny things that the blind guy said. He was like, oh yeah. I said, who wrote the Quran? He went, God. I went, no. No, he didn't. God did not write the Quran. Apparently, according to your stories, according to Islamic belief, God told Gabriel, and then Gabriel came down to earth and then told it to Muhammad. And he had to do this many different times. He had to keep coming up and down and keep going to Muhammad and keep repeating it until he finally got it. And it's like, okay, so yeah, Muhammad didn't write it down. Gabriel didn't write it down. God didn't write it down. Who wrote the Quran down? The people around him. You know? It's a simple question, but it shows their dishonesty because they're happy to claim that the Bible isn't from God because Jesus didn't write it down and God didn't write it down. It was the people around him. They go, oh yeah, but the people around him wrote it down. It must be corrupted, blah, 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 blah. They're happy to make that excuse for the Bible or any other book that they feel like. But when it comes to their own book, they ignore this fallacy of where they think, oh, no. Our book's different. No, your book's a collection of things that people have written just like the Bible. And it wasn't written by the prophet. It wasn't written by God. It was written by the people around him. And they can make mistakes. They can corrupt. They can twist. They can do whatever the hell they like. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But this is the hypocrisy of Islam. So that was funny from the blind guy. I did not expect that from him. But yeah, today we're talking about angels and devils. Do you think they exist? Are there really two armies having a fight? Or are angels just like the good workers and the devils are the bad workers? Like each one has their role to play in this game of life. Is there really good guys and bad guys? Or is it just people doing their job? Whether it's on the good side or the dark side? That's the question at the moment. So if you got your Muslim perspective and you want to come share that, you're more than welcome to. If you want to do it with a Christian perspective, you could do that. If you want to just do it with any perspective or just have a chit chat, you're more than welcome to do that. If not, I'll talk about it for a little bit, and then once I'm done talking, I'll probably disappear and I'll be able to go do my thing. So let me just have a quick look. Yeah, that's all sweet. Alright, so yeah. According to, I think, Quran as well as the Bible, the demons used to be angels. So angels and demons aren't essentially two different things. They are the same thing. It's just the choices they make. If they choose self worship or selfless, that's the two options. So the selfless ones are the angels, and the selfish ones are the demons. That's the story that we've been given by the Bible, the Quran, and whatnot. Even like the Quran says, Iblis was, or the devil was essentially the best of angels. He was like highly regarded amongst the angels. He really, really worshipped God. He was like one of the most devout. And then he becomes a demon, or what do they call it? They call it a, oh, there's this weird, a jinn. They call them jinns. So he became a jinn. And then, according to Christianity, which I just learned today, a similar story. The devil was like one of God's best worshippers, and he was like really good and wise. And then he became the bad guy because he wanted to overthrow God and be. I can't go with that narrative at all. How does someone who has wisdom, okay, wisdom isn't just knowledge; it's true understanding. Someone who has wisdom, how do they just turn around and go, "Hey God, I'm going to be better than"? No, it's not possible. He knows that he's always going to be below God because he has wisdom. He's not just got this knowledge or this thought of, oh, I could be better. No, he's got the wisdom to understand that, no, God is the highest being, and that's why he's been worshipping him and praising him all this time. If he's the best of angels at that point, it's like he probably knows what he's talking a bit more than the most people around him. But as soon as he, and the Christian story, decides to become the uh, antagonist, you got the protagonist and the antagonist. So I think he becomes the antagonist, and then he's the bad guy. That's it. It's like, oh, you can't forgive him. You can't say anything good about him. He's the worst of the worst of the worst, and he's to blame for everything that's happened in the world, all the badness, everything that decision that you made to eat that extra lasagna when you were already full. That was him. It wasn't you. It's such a cop out. It's such a cop out from religions when they do this about, oh, it's the devil. He made me do it. No, 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 no. You had the choice. You had free will. God gave you free will, and you chose to be selfish rather than selfless. So that's the funny thing about the whole devil story. So I think that people need to start thinking a little bit deeper rather than just repeating scripture. Because if you're just repeating scripture, you're just repeating knowledge you do not understand. Hence, what these Muslims are doing and some of these Christians. Not saying that Christian guy today. That Christian guy today, he had a few iffy statements, but I think most of what he's saying was coming from a good place. It wasn't coming from a place of manipulation or anything. It's just he really believed that story, and he was trying to say, no, but the story is this. And I'm like, nah, but you're not reading the story deep enough. Bear with me 1 second. Don't smoke. Smoking's against my religion. No, I'm joking. Religion's against my religion. We got a Muslim. Welcome. Welcome, Muslim.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How do you do?
I am very, very good, thank you. What did you
Yes,
want to?
I was hearing your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
In angel and in Quran, angels, and it is said that when a person is in the womb of his mother,
Mm-hmm.
an angel comes at 120 days and he gives him his livelihood, his provisions, his date of birth, his date of death,
Mm-hmm.
whether he is going to hell or heaven,
Mm-hmm.
whether he is going to uh, have good deeds or bad deeds in his life.
Mm-hmm.
So all is decided in the womb of the mother, and it is all preordained in destiny. And it is also said that when the first thing the God created, Allah created, was the pen, and
Mm-hmm.
he asked it to write everything down till the last hour,
Mm-hmm.
till Qiyamah,
Mm-hmm.
and it wrote down the destinies of every living thing, man. you can say humans,
Mm-hmm.
animals, everything. The destinies of everything was written when Allah created the pen. Uh, First thing that Allah created was the pen,
Mm-hmm.
and it wrote down the destinies of every living thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what is going to happen till the last hour? It
Mm-hmm.
is already, you can say, preordained,
Mm-hmm.
and not even it is a verse of the Quran that not even a leaf falls without the knowledge of the Allah Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything, you can say, Allah has written beforehand in the Loh Mahfuz.
Okay.
It is also said in the Quran.
But you also
So
understand free will, yes?
free will is just that the free will of a bad person is that he is going to his free will is to do bad things, and the free will of a good person is that his free will is to do good deeds.
The problem with this logic is that you're saying that Allah wills that this person will be a bad person, and then that's it. Their destiny is just to be a bad person. But would you agree that if a bad person who's done some bad stuff in their life, but then comes to God, God can change them into a good person?
It is also an hadith that says that when the person is, you can say, in arm's length is between him and hell,
Mm-hmm.
Allah, Allah, if Allah wishes, Allah wishes
Forget
that he.
forget the hadith for now. Forget the hadith for now. Just use your mind, because the Quran says that you need to use your akal, right? It tells you to use your brain. It says that you need to think. You don't just need to just repeat what the scriptures say, or not even the scriptures, especially the hadith. You're using the hadith a lot. So forget the hadith for a moment. Just use your akal. So you understand akal, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can say
Like use your mind, use your brain. So
brain.
if you're saying that God has decided that in the womb you're going to be a good person or a bad person, that means that you have no choice in your life, because God has already written that you're going to be a bad person forever, or you're only going to be a good person forever. And this also goes against what Islam says, because Islam actually says that you have the fitrah, and all children are born with the fitrah, the ability to see good. Yes?
Fitra is nature. It is not that every person is born a Muslim. It
No,
is
no,
not that. Fitra is nature.
no. I've been told
In
that I've been told every child is born a Muslim. That's why if any child dies, if a child dies before a certain age, they will automatically go to heaven. This is what I've heard from
no,
Muslims.
no. I can send you hadith which says that the children of polytheists.
Hmm.
It says that the children of polytheists will go to hell.
So,
Even you can, if
so,
the girl buried alive is going to hell.
so that,
It is a
so,
hadith.
so you're saying,
Yeah.
see, this is why I'm saying use your akal, use the brain. So you're saying that God, in the womb, decided that this child is going to be born to these polytheists, and because he's
Yeah.
born, this boy or girl is born to the polytheists, and they're only going to live a certain amount of time, and because they were born to the polytheists, they're going to hell. So that child had no chance ever to get to Jannah. That child was always going to go to hell. Is that the
Yeah,
option that
because
Allah gives?
yeah, he is the offspring of the polytheist. His birth has taken place due to shirk. So
Yeah, but
it
not
is
not the child shirk. Not the child. The child hasn't done shirk because the child doesn't know any better. He's just told what the parents told him. If Allah really wanted to make sure that shirk didn't happen, and not to punish anyone without reason or without being unjust, what God would do is go, oh, polytheists, you want to have babies? No, you can't have babies because you're going to ruin those babies. If Allah wrote everything, He could have done this, and then that child, instead of going to the fire, could have gone to heaven straight away. But you're saying that no, God wants that child to go to hell.
yes, because there is a you can say
Is that a
story in the
good God?
Quran. I want to state my point
Mm-hmm.
by stating a Quranic story. Hazrat Khizr was a you can say he can be a prophet, but it is not mentioned in the Quran. He killed a child.
Mm-hmm.
He killed a child because in the future he was going to misguide his parents to shirk.
Mm-hmm.
So He a prophet because he had the miracle of knowledge,
Hmm.
uh, Khizr.
Okay.
So he killed the child because he was going to, you can say, in the future misguide his parents away from Allah. So he killed him because he had knowledge. Allah had given him knowledge. So this is the main reason that the Allah has knowledge that
No,
the
no, no.
girl that is
That
born.
that wasn't just Allah. That was the Prophet. The Prophet had the same knowledge as Allah. You're saying.
No, he had a miracle. Many prophets have miracle. The miracle of that prophet was knowledge, knowledge of,
So,
you can say.
so let's say this. Obviously, I don't want anything bad to happen to you or your family, but I'm just going to give you an example. If I was to kill your children, would you then just go, "Oh, that that Allah wrote this, and that's it, no problem. I have no issues. There's nothing wrong here because this was meant to happen," or do you say, "Why Allah? Why?"
You know that in Quran it says that all the animals are like communities, just like humans. It is a verse of the
Bro,
Quran.
bro, 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 bro,
We
bro, 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 bro. I appreciate you giving me the Quranic verses and the Quranic stories, but you need to be able to answer the question with your mind first, and then give me the evidence with the Quran verse. But you need to answer the question first, because what you end up doing is you keep giving me these Quran verse, and then it just changes the topic. Answer the question. If I was to kill, I really don't like saying it, but say somebody was to kill your children, and obviously they're children. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone, but someone does that. Would you then just go, okay, that's because God willed them to go to hell because they weren't going to be good boys and girls? Or would you go, no, why God has this happened? What are you trying to teach me?
no, an ordinary person is not a prophet.
It doesn't
Prophet
have
have
it doesn't have to be a
many.
prophet. He doesn't have to be a prophet because guess what? You said Allah made the pen first and he wrote the entire story. And he's decided who's going to be a good and who's going to be bad and who's going to die when and where they're going to lie down and when what they're going to do. So he's written everything down. So that person coming to kill the children, God wrote that. According to you, Allah wrote that. So Allah's got an idea of whether your children are going to be good or bad. So then at that point, you're going to say, okay, my children were going to be bad. This is why God killed them, right? According to your logic.
No, if my children, if I was a mushrik, then if my children would have died, then I could
But
have said
how
that.
do you know you're a mushrik? Do the polytheists or the idol worshippers think that they're mushriks? Or do they think that they're doing the right thing?
If they are, you can say, praying instead of something than Allah, then they are polytheists.
No, no, no,
Then they
no, 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 no,
wrong.
no, no, no. That's not the question I asked you because you're using your Islamic Quran verses to understand this. I'm asking you as a person if the polytheists and the idol worshippers don't think that they're doing anything wrong. In their mind, they think they're not mushrik. They think that they're Muslim. They think that they're doing what God wants them to do. They would think the same thing you're thinking. They would, oh, but I'm not a bad guy. I'm not doing something wrong. I'm doing exactly what God wanted me to do. But God knows better, correct?
No, Quran has been revealed 1400 years ago. If they don't, you can say, now follow the Quran because it is the law, or you can say Sharia law is 1400 years ago. It is all Sharia law and Khilafat are all that could happen according to Quran because in Quran you can say it is the Ghalib, you can say Ghalib religion. So
Hmm.
you have to say in a caliphate system all over the world you have to spread that Islam. So
Why do you need to
it is
spread? Why do you need to spread the Islam? If you see, this is what I'm saying. You're not consistent. Forget what your book says. Your point at the beginning was God has written everything from the beginning. He's decided who's going to be good, who's going to be bad, where you're going to go to sleep, where you're going to wake up, what you're going to get in your provisions. And oh, well, I don't think you wrote that. Someone else wrote that. But someone said similar things to you. Like he's preordained everything. So at that point, there is no freedom of choice, there is no nothing. And if anything happens to your children, it's because God has decided that your children were going to be mushrik. Yes?
no, it is a hadith that the offspring of the polytheists will be joined to their parents, and the offspring of the Muslims will be joined to their parents in heaven. So the offspring of the polytheists are going to, you can say, hell.
Okay,
Because
let me ask you
yeah,
this then. Is that just all Muslims or is it just the good Muslims?
if offspring of the, you can say, if the offsprings of the polytheist, it is a hadith that says that the
Oh, I know,
offspring of the
I know what the hadith says. You've said it about 3 times now. I'm asking, is in regards to the Muslims going to heaven to their parents, is that all Muslims or just good Muslims?
Well, it is a debatable because you can say in Hadith it says that there will be 72, you can say, firqas in the Islam, and only one will go to heaven. So you can say which firqa
Okay,
is going
so
to
so
heaven. It's
so in that case, according to hadith, not all Muslims are real Muslims. Some of them are mushrikeen. Yes,
Munafiqeen, you can say,
munafqeen, mushrikeen,
Munafiqeen.
same difference. I think. I don't know what munaf means. I know what mushrikeen is. That means idolaters. So
Hypocrites, you can say,
okay,
hypocrites.
okay. So you can agree that according to what you just said, that God is saying that all of you Muslims aren't going to be good Muslims. There will be those of you who are misguided, and you think you are in the correct, you think you are doing the right thing, but you're not. And that's why I'm saying in this example, if God makes somebody kill your family, are you going to sit there and say, "Oh, I must have been a mushrik, I must have been a munafiq," or are you going to say, "Oh no, why God have you done this to me?"
Well, you can say that the children of animals also die. So you can say they are the same as us.
So
We are
that
only better due to it is the verse of the Quran which says that لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ,
what's that mean?
that man is the best of creation. Man is the best of creation, and
Hmm.
the best of creation is due to its intelligence.
Hmm.
The rest of the creations are equal to us. The, you can say, tigers, lions, sheep, buffaloes, and you can say that Allah has allowed us to kill animals also. And mushrikeen, it is said that they are the worst of creations.
Hmm.
Okay, it is said in the Quran that mushrikeen are worse than animals.
Hmm.
It is a Sharul Bariya. It is given in the Quran. Sharul Bariya, Khairul Bariya.
Okay, and
Khairul Bariya are
should you kill the
Mu'mins, and
mushrikeen?
mushrikeen, you can say they are given options of, you can say, jizya. If they can stay in the land and pay tax, jizya tax it is called
So what you're
in the
saying is
Quran.
God said, listen, these people are the worst. They're the worst of the worst of the worst. Even the animals are better than these people. But if they pay you some money, then it's okay. That's insane. That is insane. You're saying that God cares about the money more than the people. If Allah
No,
is
money
trying
is
to get everyone to the good side,
protection money. It is protection
no,
money.
it
You
doesn't matter
can
if
say
it's protection
protection money.
money. It doesn't matter if it's protection money. You're saying that God wants people to join Islam. This is why you go out with your scriptures and you try and get people to join Islam. This is why you have like you mentioned like the Caliph and all this other stuff trying to do this as well because they're trying to get people close to God. But according to you, God has said, listen, mushrikeen, the worst of all people, just take some money off them and they're okay. Just take some money off them and that's all you need to do. Don't worry about them. So God doesn't want you
They have
to
to
help the
stay
mushrikeen.
subdued.
Hmm?
They have to stay subdued. They cannot. They are the second class citizens. They have to
Oh,
follow the Islamic law.
so
If they have, and it is just the protection money. They will not be killed. It is just the protection money.
so if your child grows up and decides that they don't want to be Muslim, you think that it's okay to treat them like a second class citizen. Let's say
Well,
let's say your child grows up and decides that they still believe in God, but they decide that they want to be Hindu or Christian and still worship God, still believe in one God, but they want to do it the Christian way or the Hindu way or whatever. You're saying that at that point they're mushrikeen and that they need to be treated as second class citizens.
well, first of all, it is said that if you leave the Islam in the Hadith, it is said to death. It is death penalty.
Oh, you're
First
not
of all,
helping yourself. You're not helping yourself when you say these things.
but yeah, but
What?
if you can say it, he was not born a Muslim because every child is born not fitra, not on Muslims. So if he says that I don't want to be a Muslim,
Then you
so
kill him.
then in that case he has to give jizya. Yeah, it's then it is
No,
allowed.
no, no,
He has
no. In that case, you kill him because he's left Islam, right?
no, because he was not born a Muslim.
Okay, so
Every
if you're
child is
born a
not
Muslim,
born a
so if you're
Muslim.
born a Muslim and then you leave, then you get killed.
No, every child is born on fitra. Fitra is not that every child is born as Muslim. It is not hadith.
Okay,
Hadith says that every child is born
okay.
on
So
nature.
when do you
Nature.
kill?
Yeah.
When do you kill the people who leave Islam? Are they the ones that join Islam and then leave, or is it the ones that are born into Islam and then leave? Which one, or is it both?
Well, it is there who accepts Islam and then leave it. If
So they've
some
accepted Islam and then they decide to leave it. Okay. So we have all these Dawa guys all over the internet right now talking to all these Christians, atheists, Hindus, Sikhs, whatever. And they're trying to convince them to become Muslim. Now, at the time when they're talking to them, they may have said the Shahada, but they never said it from the heart. Are they really Muslim?
that is why it is called to kill them, because if they are hypocrites, and you can say they are
They're not the
in Quran.
hypocrites. They're not the hypocrites. The Muslims are the hypocrites. The Muslims say that you have free will. You can do what you want. God has given you the choice. God, according to you, has decided whether you're going to be good or bad. And then you're saying, oh, because of all these things God has done, a Muslim is allowed to kill you. That's insane. That, honestly, do you not see
Then
the
why
hypocrisy
didn't
in
they
what you're
read the
saying?
scripture completely? They had to read the Sunnah and Quran completely, then convert to Islam. Okay, if they
Have you read
didn't do that, then
have you
yeah,
read the Quran and the Sunnah completely?
yes, I have read.
Okay, so in the Quran it says, "Don't follow the one who is guided, but follow the one who guides." So who is the one who is guided?
No, Islam says
I'm
that
asking you a simple
you can
question.
say the
I'm asking you a simple question. Please stay on topic. Who is the one who is guided?
the most pious person
So
who is the
Muhammad would be
Khalifa.
guided, correct?
Yes, yes.
And who guided
Who
him?
is the last? Allah, Jibril.
Okay, so well, not Jibril. Through Jibril, yes, but Allah would be the one giving the orders, correct?
Yeah, he was given the commandments by
Okay,
Allah.
so the Quran says, don't follow the one who is guided, don't follow Muhammad, follow the one who guides, follow God. So remember this, because you said you've had to read all of the verses and all the books in order to say that you're a Muslim. So if you follow this, what it's telling you is don't follow the scholars, because they are guided. Don't follow Muhammad, he is guided. Who do you follow?
In Islam, it says that all the prophets are equal. Only Prophet Muhammad is better due to he is the
Bro,
last prophet and he is Rahmatul lil Alamin.
no.
He is the for all humanity. He has been said to all humanity.
You're making
Otherwise, all prophets are
justifications.
equal.
You're making justifications for why you're not changing your beliefs, but you're not answering anything I'm saying. You're not using your akal. This is why I said you have to use the akal if you come here. I'm happy to have the conversation. I'll listen to the hadith. I'll listen to the Quran, but you have to use a bit of akal as well. You have to use your mind in order to understand what you're saying. Because otherwise, what you're doing is just repeating all the same stuff I've heard a million times by Muslims, and there's nothing new. Saying the same thing as them isn't gonna make me think, oh, okay, now I get it. You have to use the brain. Try and understand. If God has said, don't follow the one who is guided, but follow the one who guides, and you're following scholars, you're following these people who were running around after Muhammad and writing stuff down, and you're following the Caliph, and you're following this, and you're following that, you've ignored the one person that you were supposed to follow, and that's God. And if God is telling you in the Quran, forget the Hadith for a moment, because the Hadith, like I said, according to yourselves, is just what other people have written. It hasn't come from God. It hasn't been called the Quran. It's something separate. So if you look at the Quran itself, you should see that, okay, God is saying that you should follow the one who guides, not the one who is guided. The Quran also says things about you should only kill those in self-defense or to protect others. But then you look at the Hadith, and the Hadith say, oh, no, you could kill the mushrik, you could kill this guy, you could kill that guy. Oh, someone left Islam, kill him. So you've got contradictions there. The Quran says only kill to protect others and self-defense. And then the things that the scholars have come up with says kill everyone. So this is what I'm saying. Use the akal. If you are following God, follow just the Quran. Forget all the other hadith stuff, because the hadith stuff is just confusing you because it contradicts the Quran so much.
No, it is said that you have to establish the caliphate system. You have to establish Sharia law all over the world.
Who says
So
that? Who says
that's
that?
why
Who
you
says
have.
that?
It is the words of the Quran that you have to make Quran the you can say Ghalib. I am not getting the English for it.
Hmm.
The Ghalib religion. So you have to make it Ghalib all over the world. So it is you have
No, no, I
so
don't think
that
it says it, you
uh,
have to make it valid for the world. It says that the Quran came for the world, right?
no, it is the only religion. It is the best religion. You
Uh,
have to make it superior to superior. So that's why you have to make a caliphate system. The Prophet Muhammad fought wars in Badr, in Ohad, in every you can say Ghazwas, Ghazwat Tabuk, you can say because he wanted to establish the caliphate system. So he fought these wars and established Sharia law. So that's why you can say only a Ghazwa you can fight only for this reason
okay,
to
so I found Surah
establish the
24:55. It says, Allah has promised those of you who believe and do good that He will certainly make them successors in the land, as He did with those before them, and will surely establish for them their faith which He has chosen for them. Which He has chosen for them. Okay, so it's not the only faith. It's like God is saying that there's a different choice of faith. So already they're saying that it doesn't have to be Islam everywhere. God has chosen the faith for them, and will indeed change their fear into security, provided that they worship God, associating nothing with Him. But whoever disbelieves after this promise, it is they who are the rebellious. And the next one says, moreover, establish prayer, pay alms tax, and obey the messenger, so you may be shown mercy. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about caliph in there. 1 second. Do you know where the caliph thing is? Just so I want to be able to read what you're talking about when you say it says set up a caliph.
yes, it's a verse which says that we sent down the Quran on the mountains, but it rejected it. Then we sent to humans, but he was foolish, and he accepted its responsibility to make it superior to all over the world. It is a verse in the Quran.
Okay, so it's just bigging itself up. It's not saying that you need to go and make everyone a Muslim or everyone needs to follow the same religion. It's just saying that it's bigging itself up and saying that it's the best thing ever. Yeah.
You have to it says you have to superiorize the Islam and Quran all over the world. It's the verse says that.
So, so tell me this: do you think the world will be better if everyone was Muslim?
No, it is a struggle. You have to constantly struggle to superiorize Islam and uh, you can say make jihad is in the Prophet had jihad only for this purpose to superiorize the Islam. Otherwise, you can say Imam Hassan and Hussein, which were you can say the uh, uh, you can say kings of the heavens. It's a hadith.
Mm.
They given their life for no purpose. You know that the Imam Hassan's daughter was martyred in Syria. How cruelly they were martyred. So
No, no,
they fought
It
for.
wasn't cruel though, because when they died, it's because the other person's religion told them that they have to kill anyone who doesn't change to their religion. So what's the problem? That it sounds like God wants them to kill you because you didn't change to their religion. Where's the problem? If God says that you have to kill if they don't change to your religion, if someone else does it, why is it a problem?
You are saying that why other religions don't see this? Why Quran?
No,
Why
I'm
Islam
saying
see?
if a Christian came out, over to wherever you got, Islam is and started killing you unless you converted, what's the problem? If God has told them that, listen, you need to make everyone Christian and make the whole world Christian, and God has told them this, and it says it in their book, then you should say, okay, it's Allah's will. Yes?
Well, if you read the book of Genesis, it says that because Prophet Moses and his nephew Lot
Mm-hmm.
was in Genesis
Mm-hmm.
was kidnapped by
Mm-hmm.
the kings of those times,
Mm-hmm.
and he raged a battle against those kings, and you can say he then killed those kings. So battles are fought in the book of Genesis also. In
Yeah.
Ghazwas are there in the Quran, but also in
Yeah.
Jewish book
So
of
so
Genesis.
so if the Jews come and kill the Muslims, that's not a problem. That's okay because God told them to kill anyone who isn't Jewish. Yeah.
Well, the battles have been going on in
No,
the past also. These battles
you're
have
not
been going on.
understanding. I'm trying to get you to understand that what you're doing is you're just justifying killing people because, oh, the book says this. If God is merciful, if God is compassionate, if God is loving, if God is forgiving, all these amazing things that God is, do you really think He's going to say, oh, if they don't believe, just kill them? Or is He going to say, if they don't believe, try harder, try and show them that your way of life is better, not through violence, not by forcing them, but through your actions. That when you are there, that they will look to you and say, oh, why is that person so good? Why is he so pious? Oh, he's a Muslim. And then they would come and join your group. But that's not how you do it. You do it through the sword. And like you just said, you
No,
need to make
no.
the whole world Muslim, which is insane.
No, the hadith said first you have to, something bad is going on, that
Mm-hmm.
some shirk is the baddest thing in Islam. You can say worst thing is shirk in Islam.
Mm-hmm.
It is the gravest sin. So if you see a shirk happening, so you first thing you do is you dislike it in your heart. The second thing is you stop it by your tongue, and the third thing, if you have the power, then you can stop it by your hand. These are the stages of jihad. It
Okay.
is the hadith.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if I make a new religion and I say the same thing, and I say anyone who chooses Islam is doing shirk, then it's okay. Yeah.
No, it also says that you have to be very good with your akhlaq. You can say your it's at the I'm not getting the English for it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be good manners. Yes, you have to be very good with your manners. You have to be pious. You
Yeah.
have to
So
be.
when does a pious person kill someone just because they don't agree with them?
No, you have to kill them because they if you there are conditions, certain
You don't.
conditions that you
No,
kill
no
them.
this is the thing. I'm really not liking this. You keep saying you have to kill. No, nobody has to kill. It's a choice to kill. Yes, you understand that it's a choice to kill, right?
No, if they you can say you have and nowadays you can say at that time also there were only 313 in the first battle of Badr people, and the Prophet if he didn't fought the battle at that time, the Islam wouldn't have come. You can say Islam and would have ended at that time. And if Imam Hassan and Hussein didn't fought at that time, the Islam could have ended at that time.
What would be the
So if
what would be so bad about that? What has Islam brought to us that you're like, oh no, Islam has to stay?
it has
If the
morality.
people are not pious, if the people are not living like God wants them to, if they are being mushriks, and like you said, 1 out of 72 is only going to heaven, and the 71 are going to hell, what good has Islam done?
You know that in Surah Nahl and Surah
No, I don't
Takwir, it
know.
says that, yeah, I am telling you
I know, but
that it says that you don't, and that when the mushriks were given birth to their daughters, their faces became pale, and they wanted to bury them alive. So Allah has forbidden them. In the Hadith, it also says that do not uh,
okay. So
bury your
hold up.
daughter's
Now
body.
you're really confusing me. Now you're really confusing me because few minutes ago you said that the child of a mushrik is dies, that's God's will, and they should go to hell. Correct? You said that
But
the children of the polytheists and the idolaters and all the other mushriks and the mushrikeens and all mushaf, whatever the other word, munafiq, they should die. You said, yeah, the children, because they're going to go to hell with their parents. Yes.
they are going to hell, but they
So
Allah has
then why?
forbidden
So then why would Allah
forbidden
say?
them to.
Then
Yeah.
why would Allah say don't kill the children if God wants the children to die and go to hell?
No, this earth has been given them for mother. They have been chosen in this world for their luxuries. They have, you can say, they have been given opportunity to live their lives at their best in this uh, in this life. In
Yeah.
the afterlife, they have no contribution. In the afterlife, they
Yeah,
are
but
going to
you're
hell.
contradicting yourself. You don't understand. You're contradicting yourself. You're saying that God is saying that the children of these idolaters will die and they will go with their parents to hell and they can never be saved. And then you're saying that, oh wait, no, God has also said don't kill the children of these idolaters because they can be saved. So you're saying two different things from the same God. And this is the
No,
problem with
they
the
can be
hadith.
converted. I'm
This
not
is why I'm
saying.
saying that you following the hadith and bringing up all these hadith is just going to confuse you more. Don't follow
No,
the
there
ones
is
who
a
are
verse in the
guided.
Quran that,
Follow the one who
yeah.
guides. Follow God. Don't Not the ones that are giving you the tasfir, not the one scholars, not any of those. Just read the Quran. Try to understand the Quran as much as you can and use your own akal and go, okay, if God is compassionate, mercy, loving, forgiving, and He's all these amazing good things, what's the name for Allah as a killer? Do you have a name for
No,
Allah
it's
as a killer?
a no. It is. It. I'm
That's what I'm
telling
saying.
you.
That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
don't have a word. You've got 99 names for Allah, and not one of them is Allah the killer or Allah the destroyer.
No, I am
So
saying that it is a verse of the Quran. Do not marry polytheist women until they believe, and do not marry polytheist men until they believe. So
exactly, forgiveness. So there's forgiveness
they
and
can
there's
be converted
patience.
into Islam. Yeah.
There's yeah, but there's forgiveness and patience. From what you just said in the Quran, there's forgiveness and patience. But what you told me from the hadith is no forgiveness, no patience, just kill them or make them pay tax and then kill them. This is what I'm saying. Ignore the hadith. You need to stop following the hadith. Use the Quran, use your akal, use your mind. Think about what you're reading. Think of, like I just said, 99 names for God. All of them really good qualities. None of them
Yeah.
are
All knowing,
none of them are
ever
the killer.
living.
In the Quran it says
He is
only
the
kill in the Quran it says
yeah.
only kill in defense to protect others. So when the Quran says this, you follow this. If the tasfir or the hadith or the scholars are saying something else, you don't follow them. The Quran tells you do not follow those who are guided, but follow the one who guides. So this is what I'm saying
Yeah.
that
That,
Islam
yeah.
right now. I'm sorry, bro, but it seems like you've been brought up in this religion and you've been kind of brainwashed into believing that you have to believe in the hadith, and it's only gonna make it harder for you to actually be one of those one. Do you remember you said the 1 in 72 are going to heaven? If you follow the hadith and what the scholars are saying, you're being misguided by these misguided people. You're not being guided to the truth. You're being misguided away from the truth.
Well, I have read all the caliphate systems. Like, you can say that Hazrat Umar had a caliphate system. In that caliphate system, not even a, you can say, if a dog died of hunger, it was the responsibility of the caliph why he died of hunger. So the, you can say, if a you can say a child or a girl child is newborn girl child is buried alive, it is the responsibility of the caliph. And it is a hadith, it says that the righteous person can only have a single piece of clothing, yeah, because Allah tests them. On the righteous person only has a single piece of clothing. If the caliph is wearing more than a single cloth and the child or a newborn girl dies, then the responsibility comes on the shoulder of the caliph, because he has not given provision for that girl. So he will be
Yeah,
killer,
but why
the
do you
caliph.
care about the girl when God? That's what I'm saying. You're confusing yourself because you're saying in one sentence God says kill the polytheists and the non-believers and the mushrik, and then you're saying okay, no, God
If they
says you
fight
could
you,
only.
if they fight you,
Then you say
if
God,
they fight you,
if they fight you, okay. So
yeah.
if they don't fight you, you're not gonna do
If
anything
they
to them.
if they could just give jizya and say subdued, then you will not fight
Stay
them.
subdued. Why do they need to stay subdued?
It is the words of the Quran that if they because I said the superior religion is Islam. Islam is the superior
No,
religion.
it's
It is
not.
in
It
the
really isn't. That's your belief. Your belief is that it's a superior religion because that's the way you've been brought up. I'm guessing you were born a Muslim, correct?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So because you were born into this religion and all your life you've been told it's the superior religion, that's why you're saying it now. It's not because it is. Because if I was to ask you about Hinduism, I'm pretty sure you won't be able to give me the right answers because you haven't studied Hinduism. If I was to ask you about Sikhism, you won't be able to give me the right answers because you haven't studied Sikhism. So for you to turn around and say it's the superior religion, that's not based on evidence, it's not based on fact, it's based on your opinion, which you've been told over and over again since you were a child. So this is why I'm saying forget the people who have been misguiding you. Look to the one who guides. Look to God. He's the one who guides. He's the one who gives you the truth. None of his 99 names are anything bad. Yes? They're all good names. So why is it that the Quran lists all these great things about God and how he's forgiving, how he's patient, how he's loving, all the nice things. But then the hadith come along and say, oh, but you know what? God wants you to kill this person, that person, and that person. Oh, if somebody leaves Islam, you kill them. You don't give them free will. Even though God gave everyone free will, they're not allowed free will. It makes zero sense. That's what I'm saying. You need to go away, think about what you're saying, think about what you actually believe in your heart, not just what they've been telling you, but what is true, and try and understand that. Because
Yeah.
I ain't got a problem with you being Muslim. I have a problem with you being a mushrikeen. If you are a true Muslim, a true submitter to God, then you would follow his words and his guidance and not the guidance of man, especially the scholars. Because the scholars, we could agree, they're not the most pious people. They know lots of stuff, yes. I'm not going to disagree. They know all the tasfirs, they know all the hadiths, they know all this stuff. They've memorized all these things, yes. Well done, congratulations. But they're not good people. They're not pious because all they've done is memorize and then use these memorizations to argue rather than to learn the words of God to connect with God.
I have also studied the New Testament. In New Testament, it says that, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to be with you forever. This is the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive because it neither sees him nor knows him. You know him because he abides with you and he will be in you. John 14, 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
So in John Bible, you can say it is the Gospel of John. It says that Allah will send another prophet after you can say Jesus
Mm-hmm.
Christ. So it is mentioned in the Quran, in the Bible also, that uh, in New Testament, that another prophet will come after the Jesus, and he will this verse show clearly demonstrates it, and then there is another verse also.
Yeah, but
My little
what you're
children,
doing, what you're doing here is you're saying, "Oh, look at this verse in the Bible. It talks about a person that will come," and then you're going, "Ah, see, it's Muhammad because he came after Jesus." Now, if I was to tell you after Jesus there was actually another prophet that came, are you then going to say, "Oh, okay, that's the one that the Bible was referring to," or are you going to say, "No, no, 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 it's Muhammad"?
no, the second verse clears that, my little children, I am writing these things to you so that you may not sin, and if anyone sins, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ, the righteous. John 2:1. So in this also it says that he is the righteous. Muhammad is the righteous Jesus Christ, and his teachings are, you can say, the righteous teachings in the of the Bible are the Quran.
No, it's not because Bro, you must be pulling my leg. You must be having a laugh at the moment, right? Is this a joke or is this you being
No, I
serious?
am telling you it is the Gospel of John,
I
and
know
it is.
I'm not denying that it's in the Gospel of the John, but you're using the Gospel of John to say, ah, look, this is Muhammad they're talking about. But then if I was to tell you something else in the Bible that says that it's not Muhammad, do you know what you're gonna say?
Yes.
You're gonna say no, the
What?
Bible's corrupted. So you pick and you choose when the Bible is corrupted and when it's not corrupted. If it's something that you can use as Muslims to say, ah, look, this is true, then you go, okay, look, Bible is not corrupted here. But then when something disagrees with you, then you're like, oh, no, no, it's corrupted there.
The Quran also mentions that, and when Jesus, the son of Mary, said, "O children of Israel, indeed I am the messenger of God to you, confirming that what came before me
You're
of
not,
the Torah and bringing God
you're not
tidings of
thinking,
a messenger to
you're not
come after
thinking.
me, whose name is Ahmad."
You're,
So it is also mentioned in Quran.
no, in the Quran. Okay, cool. But listen, what you're doing is you're not thinking. What you're doing is you are trying to make Muhammad the best prophet ever. You're trying to say this is the only religion. You're not thinking. You are, I'm sorry to say this, brainwashed into thinking this. You've got no reason to believe it. You've got no understanding. I sound like Big Nose now. You've got no. You haven't used rationality in your thought process because, like I said, you're contradicting yourself with these hadiths, and then you're bringing up the Bible after. Because if, like I said, if I brought up something from the Bible, would you then say, okay, it's true because it's come from the Bible, even if it says the Quran is wrong, or would you say that it's
When
corrupted?
you can say in the Quran, in the Bible, you can say Ishmael. You can say there the Prophet Muhammad was of the lineage of Ishmael. So you can say that in the book of Genesis, the Ishmael was not the you can say the covenant was with Ishaq, not Ishmael. That is all that is given in the Bible that I have read.
So you're saying
So
that God made two different agreements, yes?
no, but I am saying that it is only, but in another verse, one verse it is present that only the covenant is with the Isaac. But in another verse, if you read the previous chapter, it is said that the covenant is also with the firstborn.
Okay,
Both
so
things
there's
are
two
present.
covenants.
Both things are present.
Yeah, so there's two
Both things are
covenants at the
present.
same time, yes?
Yes, there are two different
Okay,
things in the
so
book
then
of
in that
Genesis.
case, then you shouldn't be killing the Jews because the Jews are doing their thing. They're following God, but with their covenant, yes? They don't need to become Muslims. The Jews don't need to become Muslims because they've got their own covenant.
No, but you can say that Jesus had come after. Jesus has come
Bro.
after
I'm
Moses.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting bored of this conversation because you're not actually having a conversation. You're just constantly just referring back to the Quran, the Bible, the this, the that to justify what you're saying. You're not using, like I said from the beginning, the akal. You're not using the brain. You're not using the thought process to go and say, if the Quran says this and this is not true, then, or in the Hadith it's not true, then that means that I don't need to follow the Hadith. I don't need to follow this. I don't need to follow that. All I need to do is follow the one who guides, not the guided. I don't need to follow what all these scholars have said. I don't need to worry about what the Tasfir says. I don't know. I don't need to know what the Hadith say. As long as you got the Quran and you follow the Quran, then you're good.
No, I'm saying that the Jesus had come after Moses, and the New Testament. You can say if the Jews are not following Jesus,
Mhm.
because the covenant was also with Jesus Christ,
Mhm.
and then you can say the last prophet Muhammad. So these are all connected. You can say this is the lineage of prophets. So it is written in the you can say New Testament. The Quran also mentions it. So it is written in these books, and I can give you reference if you want.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, if that's the Islam you follow, I disagree completely because You've said that you think that the apostates need to be killed. You've said that the children of the polytheists should be killed and go to hell with their parents. You've said all these
No,
things, which
no, I'm not saying they should be killed. Who has said that? They are going to hell, but in this life, their own mother has killed them. But you can say it is the hadith that if a mother kills his daughter, because I can give you an article that in historic Arabia, the mushrikeen used to kill their own daughters in the Dawr Jahiliya.
Mhm.
The daughters were, you can say, in the historic. I have an article with me. If you can
yeah, I know
share,
it's fine. It's fine.
I can
I
share.
know I know the story. I know the story. So I know that there was
It's a research article. It is a very good article.
I'm
The
good.
matter of murder of
I'm
daughters in
honestly good. I'm
Jahiliya
honestly
Arab
good. I'm
community.
honestly good. I'm not becoming Muslim. I do not want to be a Muslim. I do not support Islam, especially the way you're doing it. I think you need to go back and decide whether if your God is the kind of God that wants you to be more worried about mushrikeen rather than your own connection with Him. Where you're not pious, you're not anything good, and then you're saying that all these other people need to die is just absolute joke. Uh, Honestly, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you. I'll give you the last word. Uh, but yeah, I do not agree, and I do not support this kind of Islam. So go for it. You got the last 30 seconds.
Yes, I am saying that in the prehistoric Arabia, they used to kill their dog, and the most commonly used method of killing girls by dumping them in the pits.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, through was that they were drowned in the water of or strangled.
Hmm.
So, and they also give sacrifices to the gods of newborn girls, and because they were a sign of this, you can say this, yeah, they were honor killed because they think that they don't like girls. So dignity were the destroyed human dignity were trying to prevent ignorant and cruel fathers. So it's a complete research article. Bedouin tribes were there, and Tahmim wise, these tribes were doing these things, killing their own daughters.
Hmm.
So it is not that Allah has forbidden to kill their and bury own daughters. It was these Arabs in Jahiliya, Mushrikin Arab tribes which were killing their own daughters. And you can say Allah had, and Prophet Muhammad forbid them. So they said that it is not good to kill on their own daughters. So
Okay,
Islam said that
you're repeating yourself a
yeah.
bit. Wrap it up, please.
Yeah, Islam, you can say in the evolution theory, if you say might is right, then like you can say if Islam didn't come, then daughters would have been finished because daughters are, you can say, male is superior to female. So if you believe in evolution theory, it means that the female would have died, like dinosaurs have vanished. Females would also have vanished.
Yeah, but so would all the other people who refuse Islam and refuse subjugation to Islam. They would also die because Islam came. So you're saying that, oh, yes, they saved some children from the mushrikeen, but then they kill all these other people. So it doesn't matter. Look, I don't want to argue with you. If you believe you understand your books correctly, then there's nothing I can do to help you. This conversation isn't going to go anywhere productive because I'm not becoming Muslim. I'm not going to agree with what you're saying. I don't think it's right to kill people when they leave a religion. I think it's not right to force people into a religion. I don't think it's right to force people into subjugation and then pay a tax for it. I don't agree with any of this stuff that you're saying at the moment. So especially the way Islam does it. So I don't think this conversation is going to go any further. I do appreciate you coming on, trying to share your thoughts, but we're in two different places, bro. I appreciate you.
There are very different conditions for these things. It
That,
is
that
very
listen,
dangerous.
that's fine. That's fine. I don't want to go through the conditions. You because the thing is, your conditions you're going to justify to say it's this is why it's okay. This is why it's okay. This is why it's okay, and all of that comes from the hadiths and all the things that all these other people have said. It's not come from God. It's come from the people, and as the Quran says, people twist the scriptures with their tongues. And that's what these people are doing when they want you to go and expand the empire. But yes, thank you anyway. I appreciate you coming up. Thanks for the conversation, man. Have a good night, yeah? And please do
Okay.
go and think about what we talked about.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Bye. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. Oh, my days. Oh. This is why I typically don't like talking to Muslims, because it's like talking to a brick wall sometimes, unfortunately. I like a challenge, don't get me wrong. I like a challenge. But that's beyond a challenge, because there's no level of understanding. It's like, oh, think about this from this perspective and put yourself in these shoes. And they go, oh, but the hadith say this. It's like, no, no, no. Forget the hadith, forget the Quran, just put yourself in this position. Someone turns up on your doorstep, says, hey, you need to convert to my religion or we kill you. Or you could be our slave. If you're our slave, you have to pay us. Like, seriously, if someone came up to you and said this option, you'd be like, no, no, thank you. I have my God. I know what I'm doing. And they don't see this flip side when they are pushing this narrative of, oh no, God wants you to kill the mushrikeen, God wants you to kill those who are essentially the bad guys, or even the people who leave the religion. God gave you free will, but if you use that free will, he wants you dead. Like, what? What? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Cool. That was not the kind of conversation I was hoping to have. If anyone else wants to come up and have just a chit chat, like a regular conversation where I'm not trying to convince you that killing people is wrong, please do come up. I think that should be like a basic thing that people have, like an understanding of, like, maybe it's not right to kill people, but what do I know? What do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet who likes to talk to himself. Yeah, cool. I, I'm I'm just so flabbergasted by that guy. I hope he is guided, because he seems very confused in regards to, like I said, he was contradicting himself in certain ways, where he was talking about how the hadith say you could do this, you could do that, you could do that, but when you look back at the Quran, it actually doesn't say that. It's something that these guys have added in as part of the hadith afterwards. Hopefully one day, I have hope. Please, 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 God, give him some understanding, please. Because the only thing I see is if this guy kind of like has this mentality, and if most of the Muslims have this mentality because they've been brainwashed, they've just been indoctrinated into this religion. I just see it going into war and fighting and a lot of unnecessary death and heartache. And yeah, I just think that there's a better way of doing things. There's definitely a better way of doing things. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But I still have hope. I still have hope. Still have hope in truth, love, compassion, contentment, humility, and hope and justice and peace, and how we could all come together. You know, all we need to do is actually try to start using empathy. I think that's the thing, like, because a lot of the questions I asked him were about him putting himself in someone else's shoes. Oh, how would you feel if this was your family? How would you feel if this happened to you? How would you feel if that happened to you? So I'm not trying to use emotional manipulation. I'm not trying to say, hey, feel bad and agree with me. I'm just saying, no, how would you feel if this happened to you? Okay, and now do you see how this is how the other people feel? So when you turn up with a sword and say, hey, you need to be Muslim or a slave, it's not a good. And then the justification is, but my God told me to ask you this. My God told me I have to force you. It's like, it's not genuine. It's not genuine, because it's disingenuous, because they wouldn't want that treatment themselves. And I think I have to agree with the Christians on here, because I think the Bible, where Jesus says, do unto others as you would do to yourselves, or treat your neighbor as yourself. So it's about sharing that love, compassion, contentment, humility with everyone around you, not sharing the sword, you know. Uh, but hopefully one day they come to it. They come to it. I don't know if he came over because of the Muslim video I did earlier, where I was talking to the Sheikh. I wonder if he came over because of that. That'd be interesting to find out. But yeah, that's it. If anyone else wants to come up, you've got 5 minutes. Otherwise, I'm going to finish at 11 o'clock. And yeah, then I get to do my stuff. I've got an hour before the next day. So yeah. I'll give it 5 minutes. While we wait the 5 minutes, if anyone wants to come up, we're just going to listen to a quick song. And we will go with... Let's go with hope. Because we need a bit more hope. We need hope.
Yeah, I've been through the shadows, walked in the night, seen the world get heavy, try to crush my light. The hope keeps burning deep in my soul, the flame that won't fade, yeah, it keeps me whole. When life gets rough and the clouds roll in, hope is the anchor that pulls me again. In the darkest of times, when all seems lost, hope breaks through no matter the cost. Hope never dies, it shines through the pain, through every storm, every drop of rain. When the world goes dim and I'm down to my knees, hope lifts me up, sets my spirit free. They say light can't shine without a little dark. Hope's that spark, yeah, it ignites the heart. When the path ain't clear and the road feels long, hope gives me strength, makes me strong. I've seen despair try to steal my fight, but hope keeps pushing like day through night. It's a voice in my head saying keep going strong, tells me I'm right where I belong. Hope never dies, it shines through the pain, through every storm, every drop of rain. When the world goes dim and I'm down to my knees, hope lifts me up, sets my spirit free. Hope's like the sun after endless rain. It's a light that heals, it's a balm for pain. It don't fade, don't break, don't bend. It's the beat of my heart, my forever friend. So when I'm lost, I look to the sky. Hope's in the stars, it's the reason why. Why I stand, why I rise, why I keep on fighting. Hope's my armor when the world starts biting. It whispers, hold on, don't give up yet. Through every tear, through every regret, hope's the fire that never goes out. Through every struggle, every doubt, hope never dies, it shines through the pain, through every storm, every drop of rain. When the world goes dim and I'm down to my knees, hope lifts me up, sets my spirit free. Hope's like the sun after endless rain. It's a light that heals, it's a balm for pain. It don't fade, don't break, don't bend. It's the beat of my heart, my forever friend. So when I'm lost, I look to the sky. Hope's in the stars, it's the reason why. Why I stand, why I rise, why I keep on fighting. Hope's my armor when the world starts biting. It whispers, hold on, don't give up yet. Through every tear, through every regret, hope's the fire that never goes out. Through every struggle, every doubt, through every struggle, every doubt, hope never dies.
Hope never dies. 100%. Never give up hope. Trust me, the world will try and beat you till you're blue and bloody. Never give up. Never give up hope. Hope in truth, love, compassion, contentment, humility. They want to knock it out of you through whatever means they can. Whether it be the Islamic rhetoric, whether it be through actions, whether it be through words or whatever. The world will always try and knock you down, but you gotta have hope. Hope in yourself, hope in truth, love, compassion, contentment, humility, and God. Have hope in God. You know, He's, for those who know, like he does his best, but we kind of like stop His blessings. We stop His blessings when we end up doing things selfishly. We need to try and be a bit more conscious of why we do things, and make sure that you are aware of who you are. Because the problem I find is that with the world constantly trying to knock you down, is that what they're trying to do is they're trying to destroy who you are inside because they're scared of you. Because if they were able to have a decent conversation, if they were able to actually talk on the level and as a human being, rather than referring to scriptures to justify them, they'd be able to understand the conversation and reasoning and actually come to a conclusion of how God doesn't want us fighting. God doesn't want us at each other's throats. You know? That sounds like hell. That sounds like hell to me. Could you imagine a place where no one gets along and everyone just wants to attack each other and pull each other down? That sounds like hell. And that's what these guys are trying to create. So don't give up hope. Truth, love, compassion, contentment, humility. Focus on those things, the righteous path. It's a hard walk to do. It's a hard walk to do. But yeah, it's got some positive ends, you know. It's got the hope. And that's what we need in life. We need hope. While we're in the darkness, like I said yesterday, even in the darkness, even in the middle of the night, I saw a rainbow. There's always hope. So never give up hope. Always trust that God will try his best to make things work out for the best. For you and for everyone. Cool. I'm going to leave it here because there's no one else coming up. And I'm going to go do some stuff that I didn't get to do because I went for walkies. But I hope you guys have an amazing evening. Thank you for the ninjas that watched. Thank you for ex-Muslim, the Muslim guy who came up, and Suvi in chat. Hope you guys have an amazing evening. Take care. Appreciate you. Love you. And I shall see you next time. I'm saying this as I am not ready to play a song. Okay, now I'm ready to play a song. We'll do Cosmic Dance. Good night.
So unbound and fled free, looking for the one soul, longing for me. Broken dreams create new hopes, collecting twigs to build our home. Praying the angels watch over you until the day we become true. Divine union my heart craves, a love that lasts till the end of days. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance. Let's walk into eternity, forever you and me. Life can be hard and tough, always know you are enough. Let me be your rock through the storm, the lighthouse calling you home. I will always be there to shine the light on your darkest fear, dispelling shadows that linger on, reminding you that we are one. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance. Let's walk into eternity, forever you and me. Let's play together in this garden of love, diving deeper into souls from above. Two flames from a single wing, dancing together, wild and quick, bound by a rhythm soft yet free, moving as one in harmony. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance. Let's walk into eternity, forever you and me. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance. Let's walk into eternity, forever you and me.
And I almost forget again. I am the dust at the feet of God's servants. Only God is special. Good night. Love you.